Hello everybody, back bringing you some more stuff, and today, this is going to be a short PEGCAST, but Penguins, I'm just so thrilled. I have some things to share with you, okay? So, this is really exciting. I've been really stressed out about this and very unhappy about it. My mouse recently started malfunctioning. It's double and triple clicking, so when I click, it will do 2 or 3 clicks, roughly half of the time. Which is a real problem. It sounds like you could kind of work around it, and you can, but it's broken. And I do a lot of goofing around with files for fun through for emulation purposes and for just messing with stuff purposes. Like recently my Professor Silver, who is just so intelligent, wonderful professor, extremely well-read, well-researched, and well-reasoned. He's a very intelligent man. Love him. He wanted to emulate games on his Steam Deck, because he got a Steam Deck. And he's not the type to purchase a Steam Deck at full price. He's a real one, okay? And he's not that affluent. He's not poor, but he's not he hasn't got it like that, you know? So he got this Steam Deck on a crazy Facebook Marketplace deal, and he was like, this is probably a scam, but I gotta drive out there, because what if it isn't? I can't miss this, you know? It was something like $75. Maybe it was $175. I don't remember. It was a crazy deal, a ridiculous deal, you know? And he wanted to emulate the 3DS Pokemon games on there. So, he asked if I could help him with that. So I figured out how to do it. It's actually quite easy. You'd be really surprised. As long as you have the game files, it's quite easy to do. So I gave him some instructions with how to do it, and I purchased him a micro SD card using my Bengal bucks. And what that means is it's not real money. It's money that was prepaid by my mother. Thank you, Mother. But it's prepaid, so I don't have to feel bad about using it up, you know? And it's getting near the end of the semester, so I really don't have to feel bad about using it up, you know? And also, we're on giga clearance right now because the bookstore is being sold. So, because the bookstore is being sold, or it's having a transition to, different ownership. It's going to be owned by Barnes & Noble College. All the stuff that Barnes & Noble College isn't going to buy from the bookstore, we're just marking off and trying to basically get rid of. It's like a crazy clearance sale in the bookstore. And so they had micro SD cards. This one was 128 gigabytes for $3. So that was pretty awesome. I paid $3.28 or something. He was like, can I pay you back? I was like, it was $4, you know. I told him basically no. And he was like, thanks so much. I can't wait to do it. And then I sent him my Google Doc. And he was like, oh, okay. Thanks. I can't wait to try it out. But he's on a trip right now. He's out of town. I don't know what he's doing. I don't remember. I didn't listen. Because in his class, we were just supposed to be writing our paper. And I had already written it. It's a big group paper. And I wrote the bulk of it, but a first draft version. And then I just have my group mates revise it. And the reason for that is, A, I have a lot of time and they don't because my course load is easier. So I'm writing the paper for their sake because I really like my group mates. One of them is Emma, who I really like. One of them is Camille, who's one of the coolest people I've ever met, and I want her to like me a lot. But I don't know how to come across as not oh my God, you're so cool. So I try to calm it down. But that stresses me out so much. Shout out Dusty. And the third person is Cohen, and Cohen's awesome. I like Cohen. But Emma's super fun. I met her in freshman year, and it was at the Valorant tryouts. Neither of us wanted to be on the team, but we both just wanted to play with everybody, and I tried to be her friend so bad, and she just was not having it. She did not mess with me, to be honest. And then I found out this year that it's just because she was really anxious, and she really likes me this year, I think we're, like, getting to be pretty good friends because we're both on the Marvel Rivals team for my college. I don't remember if I told you guys about it, but we're on a Marvel Rivals team. I tried to find 6 people for it, but I could only find 5 people for it, so I'm on the Marvel Rivals team. We got invited to this big event at USC, the USC Games Expo or something, and because Marvel Rivals is the new and big game, they needed a bunch of players, and as such, they even invited Occidental College. So, you know, resultingly, we're in this event. The team is me, Morgan, Emma, Kai, Isaac, and Jimmy. Wormiest Worm is Jimmy's tag, so I kind of know him as both of those aliases. But Morgan and Emma are dating, and I'm a big Emma fan, big Morgan fan. I met both of them in freshman year and wasn't friends with either of them until this year, and now I would say that I'm, like, pretty good friends with them. Like, I like them a lot. They're very funny people, and they both seem to think I'm very funny. They laugh a lot when I tell jokes, so that's kind of been a theme of this year, is finding a bunch of people that think I'm funny for me, which has been really awesome. Also, so annoying! How come this is all happening in my last semester of college? Could I not have found the people that thought I was funny sooner than this? So yeah, we're gonna do Marvel Rivals. Emma, what was I talking about? So I wrote my paper already, basically. Because of this, I was just chilling out. Everyone else was reading what I wrote for them. Oh, right. I had extra time, and I wanted to try to do the work for my group mates, just because I had the time. It's not that difficult to do. And I just wanted the paper to come out the way that I conceptualized it in my head, because it was based off of a dog study that I thought up. Basically, we had these guest speakers coming in, right, for Oxy, and they were, like, prospective faculty. We ended up hiring 2 of them, and one of them, we had to do this test. It was, like they give us a case study, and we have to kind of, like, figure out the treatment for this person. We had to figure out the treatment for this person based on, like, whatever. We had to do it like how the old DSM would do it. We had to do it, like, socially, and then we had to do it, like, through medicine or something. And I was paired up with my professor, and we were just kind of goofing around and, like, making jokes. The vibes are not a guy and a professor. The vibes are, like, 2, like, goober psychology majors that, like, wanted to be silly and not take the exercise seriously. So we were just joking, and it was, like, this guy who's, like, socially awkward, and he didn't know how to, like, interact with the new people in his office who were all cliquey, and I said we could give him sunglasses so everyone thinks he's really cool, and then they'll all want to talk with him. And Professor Silver, in the moment, I promise, in context, that was the funniest thing that's ever happened, lost it. He lost it. He thought that was the funniest thing ever. He burst out laughing, okay? My ego stroked. And so we have to come up with a dog experiment. We read this paper about how eye contact is really important for dogs, and someone is saying that, like, you know, increased looking at humans is one of the things that is, like, a key difference between dogs and wolves. So maybe looking at the eyes is, like, the reason for that. And then also there's, like, the oxytocin loop with humans and dogs, where when you look at dogs' eyes, when you make eye contact with a dog, your oxytocin and the dog's oxytocin increase, which basically just means friendship hormone, which basically means that dogs are evolutionarily incentivized to look into the eyes of humans, which means that there's something there, right? And so I was like, okay, what if, like, we try all these tasks that should be possible independent of eye contact, but we test to see if the dog is actually capable of doing that independent of eye contact, right? So, like, a pointing task, they should be following your hand. But if if eye contact is so important, why don't we test if eye contact is actually something that is, like, a driving force behind the possibility, or dog's ability, I should say, to follow the pointing cue. Eye contact shouldn't have an impact, but it's possible that it does. And then we found data that basically said no. No, they can still do the pointing task. But that's my experiment, right? And I wanted to write this paper in a way that, like, was how it is in my head, because this is my experiment, and I just, like, had these people join in and do it for me, basically. So I wrote the paper. That's the other reason. I wanted to help them, and I wanted it to be like I wanted. And then, so, the other reason is because I don't want to peer edit and try to fix a paper that my teammates wrote. So I just want to ship off my main version, and then everyone else can kind of tweak it in whatever way they want. As long as I get an A, I'm big chilling. This experiment is not like my magnum opus, so I'm not that pressed about it being perfect. Sorry, I'm merging. I'm not that pressed about it being perfect. And as such, I'm cool with them doing whatever they want to it. They can mess with it which way they want, Penguins. They can do which way thing they want to this paper, okay, Penguins? So, yeah, you get it. And so I had already finished. Because of this, while my teammates are peer editing this paper, I'm playing I'm playing random double battles in Pokemon Showdown. So it's like the Pokemon Battle Simulator. I'm playing double battles where you get 6 random Pokemon against other people online on the internet. I'm crushing, guys. Penguins, I don't know what to tell you. I'm destroying these fellas. I'm thinking in the future. I'm destroying. I'm winning so hard. Our professor tells us where he's going. I'm not listening. I'm crushing in Pokemon, okay? So that's why I don't know where he's going, but he's out of town, so he can't, do the emulation stuff right away. So that's been pretty exciting. Something else exciting, I'm almost done with school. This may be the last PEGCAST before... Oh, no, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. There should be one more PEGCAST before I'm done with undergrad forever, which is pretty exciting. On Monday, which is Gandalf's favorite day because he gets to lick a graham cracker, that cat on TikTok. On Monday, I'm going to be not licking a graham cracker, but rather taking my last exam that I'll have to study for all of undergrad. I say that I'll have to study for because I'm going to have an open note test after that. I'm not going to study for it. So, yeah. I really want to get an A in all my classes, because if I do, I'll make summa cum laude, which is the highest one, other than valedictorian. But I don't really know what valedictorian is. So I just want to make this thing. I want to get the cool honor thing, just because I think it would be cool. If I don't make it, then I'll be like, damn. But it's fun to have something to kind of grind towards right now, especially when I just have to really lock in and study for this exam. But yeah, so that's all exciting. I don't want to study though. This weekend I'm going to see Callie's comps presentation. Guys, Abby's comps presentation is the most genius thing I've ever seen. Kai's comps presentation was extremely impressive. He's a chemistry major, and I totally understood what he was saying. I could even relay it back to you, to be honest, but I'm not gonna, because this PEGCAST is not very long. That's why I'm talking so fast, actually, by the way, is I'm trying to get through a bunch of stuff, but I'm not trying to change the vibe of the PEGCAST. So when I think of a tangent, I'm still going on the tangent, but I'm trying to talk fast to make it so that I can get through all my talking points, even if I am going off on these tangents and the PEGCAST is only going to be 15 minutes long or 20 minutes long or something. But I'm really excited because I shouldn't say that. Abby's comps presentation is truly just so genius. It the words escape me. I don't know how to describe the level of intelligence and just mastery that I think is in this comps presentation. I can't describe it to you. You'd have to watch it. But they won Best Comps Award, and I was so impressed. I think it was obvious that they should have won Best Comps. And they earned distinction, which was really cool. What was a little embarrassing is that I also earned distinction, and I earned distinction by getting 85% on a test. And this test, it was difficult. I'll give it up. The stats and methods portion of this psych comps exam was really hard, but I did earn distinction by getting an 85% exactly. And I think that that's a true travesty. I think I should not have earned distinction when faced with just the absolute masterpiece that is Abby's comps presentation. Regardless, Abby's was cool. Kai's was cool. I'm really sad that I didn't get to see Ellie's. I was really sad about it. Honestly, I asked her when it was, and she didn't tell me, but I missed the emails that went out that were about when the comps presentation was, so I just totally missed the presentation, and I'm really bummed about it, to be honest. I wanted to go see it, especially just because it's it's the whole friend group, But regardless, I'm going to be going to see Callie's tomorrow. And after I go see Callie's tomorrow, I'm going to be going to the final Smash tournament of the semester. I just watched the guy fully just roll through a red light. Not fast either. He didn't run it. He just rolled through it at a cool 15 miles an hour. He was looking at his phone. This guy's looking at his phone. Everybody point and laugh. Everybody comment below. Ha 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 ha. And if you can, a finger pointing emoji. If you can't comment down the finger emoji, then you can just do an arrow with like ASCII art. You know, you can do like hyphen, 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 greater than symbol. So yeah, just point and laugh, everybody. Comment below pointing and laughing at that guy who just rolled through the stoplight because he was freaking on his phone. But yeah, this Smash tournament, I thought the last one was going to be the last one, and I was really proud of how I played. It's honestly, I think the thing I've felt most accomplished of throughout my entire college experience is my Crows presentation for Professor Silver's class and my tournament performance at the last Smash at Oxy tournament. I did really well. I beat this guy that I've never beaten before because I really locked in. I played as well as I could, and I super focused. I just made sure I didn't die to the things I normally die to, because this guy, he only kills you in like one of 3 ways, basically, and I was losing to him, and I was just thinking like, man, I think I'm better than this guy on like a fundamental level, but he's always beating me, and there are just some things that I can't do, like I can't beat him because he is really good at a couple key things that are beating me every single time. So I just really focused on those key things. I was listening to 24 Hours White Noise in my headphones, and I just super focused, and I won. So that was like a super awesome moment for me. I was really proud. And so that was like my last tournament. But there's one more tournament, and I'm going because I really like the freshman. I like supporting Elliot. He's really sweet. He's very endearing. It's like cute. His just like love for the game and for everything, really. He's like super excited. So I just want to kind of give him his last tournament, like the send-off for us. It's like supposed to be the send-off tournament and celebrating, you know? Also, there's a professor that plays Smash, and we scheduled it around his schedule. He came at the next Smash Monday, because he comes to all the Smash Mondays. And he was like, thanks so much, you guys, for telling me that this tournament was going to be this weekend, because, I made sure to free up my schedule. Somebody came in and asked me if I was available for a meeting on that day, and I told them no. And that was just like such a wonderful moment, you know? It's like, oh, wow. Like, that's great that this professor did this for us. Like, he really cares, and he wants to like play with us and have fun with us. He like cares about our experience, and I feel like we're improving his experience in his first year at Occidental College, because it's his first year at Oxy. I met with a couple professors today, and that was really fun. Or I met with, just one, with Erstat. I really respect him as well. He's a very intelligent man. I love Erstat. I don't love that much of his academic background is testing on rats, but as that guy almost just hit me, and I'm like still at a red light. He came like within an inch of the front of my car. That was crazy. It was actually probably more than an inch, maybe a foot, but he was very close. Erstat, very smart, love him. We had a really long talk because I was thanking him for my letter of rec. I did the same with Professor Stolman, earlier in the week, and it was just really great talking with these two professors. And then talking with Professor Silver as well, and having him be like, thanks so much for doing this emulation thing, and getting to put in a lot of work was super fun. The emulation thing, by the way, is why having this mouse that double and triple clicks is so annoying. And what's great is that I just bought a super expensive mouse. I've been really stressed about it. That's what I was talking about at the very beginning of the episode, you Pegwins. That's what I was talking about at the beginning of the episode. I have a new mouse. I spent a lot of money on it, but I'm excited because basically, there was one mouse company, Zowie, and they made like the first ergonomic mouse that like really fits in your hand well and feels good and is like good for your hand health compared to other mice. And it was called the EC2. This mouse was wired and heavy, and they haven't revised it in a long time. So it was like the go-to mouse for all the pros that played like Counter-Strike and stuff. But they didn't revise it for a long time. So Vaxi, which is a new company made up of the founders, including the person that created the original shape of the EC2, has their own version that's just like updated for the future, basically. It's called the Vaxi E1. So I have, what is this guy doing? They're just like stopping at a green light. I bought the Vaxi E1, and it's basically like a new revised version of the EC2 that's made by the same designer, and it's just like super nice. It's very lightweight, it's wireless, it has 4K hertz polling, which means that it pulls your mouse 4,000 times a second, which means that it's just going to be like way smoother at the expense of battery life. I may end up doing a lower polling rate, but honestly, I'm kind of fine with low battery life if I just have to plug in my mouse more. I plug in my mouse quite a lot, so I can kind of avoid I can avoid being... This is so frustrating. There are two people standing in the middle of the road. Oh, they both said sorry. And they're kind of cute together. So I can forgive it. They're just like standing at the edge of the crosswalk, but they're like kind of matching a little bit. They both have these like black fake leather jackets, and it's kind of cute. But yeah, I got this new mouse. I'm super excited about it. It's like really fancy. And I was very stressed about spending the money, but I'm finally letting myself get excited about it because it's like Vaxi is known for their really good build quality, so it's like a sound investment, and also it's just really fun to have like a really nice mouse because the rest of my setup is really nice. I have really nice headphones, I have a really nice PC, I have a really nice monitor. Like the last thing I would really want to be really nice is the mouse. And so it's like super exciting that I have this really nice mouse. So I'm gonna go game on it in like a couple minutes with my freaking roommate. But I'm really excited. I'm going to do a review on it as well. But who knows when that's coming. It's going to come whenever my roommate is gone for an amount of time that I know about so that I can record it. But yeah, so I'm just really excited about that. And there was something else I was going to say. Oh, the last thing I was going to say, there's definitely a good chance that I forgot about something that I was talking about when I was talking about, oh my gosh, I got lost in my speed. I had caffeine. I barely had any, and it was like 6 hours ago. How many? If it's 12, 6 hours would make it 6. So, I had it like 7.5. Wait, 6.5 or 7.5? 6 would make it 6. 7.5 hours ago, I had a tiny amount of caffeine. I drank half of a mango green tea. This is because after I went out of the meeting with Professor Erstat, I met with the psych club. They were like, Jack! And I was like, oh my god, I'm getting called by name, like, by a bunch of people. And it really warmed my heart, because, like, I feel like this is the first semester at this school where I've really found my people. It's kind of a shame that I'm leaving, but I feel like I've, especially through psych comps and stuff like that, just, like, I've found a bunch of people that I can, like, kind of resonate with and that like me and I like them. I've done a lot more work in the gaming club as well, and I should have been doing this the whole time, to be honest. I would have had a lot more friends, but I found people and it was really fun. Sorry if you can hear all the Dr. Peppers clanging around. I've reached the end of the Dr. Peppers, so now they're really loud. Next time I go over to Cammie's roommate's place, I'm gonna get rid of them. Oh my gosh, Cammie has a new cat! Her name is Chanel. Here's what I was gonna talk about the professors. This is because I was talking with Professor Stolman about it. I got invited to join Phi Beta Kappa, which is like a really it's the most prestigious, I think, honor society in the United States of America, which is like crazy. Like, what are you talking about? I'm invited, you know? Like, am I really that epic town? It turns out I am. They invite people not based on GPA, but based on GPA when you calculate how difficult it is to get an A in each of the classes that you get A's in. So I'm actually freaking gaming around my freaking campus right now, bro. But yeah, the psych club, they asked me to join their little boba social. It was to celebrate all the psych majors who have finished their honors presentations, which I went and watched. I saw a bunch of honors presentations. To be honest, they were kind of boring because it was research summed up in 5 minutes, and most of the research was not that interesting. I think a couple of the projects were interesting, but the ones that were interesting, like, obviously couldn't have that much successful data, just because, you know, if you're doing really interesting research, it has to be really, like, intensive and in-depth. And you just can't do that when, you can't do that kind of stuff when all you have is, like, a survey, you know? Like, those are the only resources really available to you. So they were kind of boring, but I liked them, and it was really fun to go support my friends like Disha and Zareen. Those are my two best friends that did it. I'm a little close to the car on my right. I'm gonna park a little bit worse for their sake. Shoot, so Phi Beta Kappa, I'm in. It's honestly garbage, you know? Like, I didn't want to pay, because you have to pay like $130 or something to get in, so I just didn't do it. And then I got an email from Professor Stolman, and he was like, hey, you missed the deadline, but, like, please actually register for this. And I was like, oh, okay, if my, like, advisor and the chair of the department is telling me to do it, then I probably should just do it. And then I found out that they could waive my fee, and I was like, oh, heck yeah, now I actually will do it. And then I asked them to waive my fee, and they were like, okay, your fee is waived, and then it was all good. So that was really cool. What else? Oh, so I'm really close to wearing a hole in my Crocs, guys. I've been trying to wear a hole in my yellow Crocs for as long as ever. I've been saying I won't wear other Crocs until I've worn a hole in them, basically. And dude, it's so freaking close. I'm gonna send a picture. I'm gonna show you guys a picture. I'm gonna show you a picture. I'll call this recording Croc 25-ish. Okay, and now I'll know to check about 25 minutes into the recording to see what I said about Crocs. But I'm so close to wearing a hole in them, you guys. I'll show you the picture. You can see that there are little dots on the bottom side. They're the dots on the inside of the Croc. They're the dots on the inside of the Croc. I'm getting so close to the end. I'm gonna freaking wear a hole in them. I could even do it like right before graduation or even during graduation. I'm gonna try to wear my Crocs during graduation, by the way, you guys. When I walk across the stage for commencement, it's gonna be like, and I'm gonna have my Crocs on. And what if I wear a hole through them during freaking commencement? I think that might make me religious. I think it might make me religious if that happened. But guys, I'm so excited. I even got my pins for graduation. I got some pins from graduation that I'm going to put on my stole, and I have one that's Ampharos. I have one that's, because Ampharos is the Pokemon, I love Pokemon. I want to represent Pokemon, and Ampharos is the one that represents me the most. I was thinking about doing a friend ball because a friend ball also represents me because I love my friends so much. And I think it really is core to me that I value my friends so much and I focus on the love that there is so much. And friends, it the friend ball increases the friendship stat, which is love for Pokemon, And so I thought it was the friend ball because I love my friends, because I love Pokemon, and because I focus on love. These are core tenets of what it means to be me. But I have Ampharos instead because the friend ball one wasn't easy. There wasn't a good pin for friend ball, and there's an Ampharos one. So I have an Ampharos one because that also represents me. He just kind of looks like me. He has a happy-go-lucky feel to him, and he's the lighthouse Pokemon. He helps people. And Cammy says that I look like him. So I have that pin. I have a shine from Melee because Melee is my life. I love Melee more than almost anything in the world, but I love my girlfriend and my family and my friends more. I hear water in the pipes above me because I'm in the parking garage. And my last pin is a banana cat one. And I think that one's self-explanatory. It wouldn't actually make me religious if I had a hole in my Crocs during graduation, but it would be very symbolic. It'd be very symbolic. It would be emblematic of the college experience. I would have gotten through it, and it would have been you were authentically you for 4 years and you freaking made it. You got through, So that would be really cool. I don't think it'll happen, but even if it happens right before or right after, it'll be really poetic, Just the fact that I'm wearing through these Crocs that have been so authentically me. When you think of me, you think of yellow Crocs. There are people on campus that know me as that tall guy with yellow Crocs that always wears a hat. And here's the last thing. We just celebrated Passover, and it was legit. I didn't realize that we were celebrating it legit, but it was a legit, really Jewish experience. It was really nice because, the Jews in my family, we really focus on the empathetic tradition of Judaism and not religious, which is kind of what Passover is about, to be honest. You just talk about empathizing with the Egyptians that were killed in the Red Sea when the Jews were freed by Moses, empathizing with those people. So I think it's a really interesting and cool tradition, but especially now there's a lot to talk about, and we were talking about it, and we've got the most woke Jewish family of all time, dude. Literally, this woman at the table, she said, sorry, not to be woke, and then put her hands up. I almost burst out laughing, and then I realized she wasn't joking because old people think of woke as something scary. I almost laughed at her, but she was being honest. She was very woke, though. She said some awesome stuff. Everyone there said some awesome stuff. Dude, there was a rabbi, and he's there's a rabbi in the family. There are two rabbis in the family, but this one rabbi in the family, dude, he is the wokest dude of all time. He's so pro-Palestine. It's so awesome. Okay, that's not to say that I'm saying, taking sides in the conflict, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot more discussion to be had. I'm not having that discussion right now. I'm not having it right now. That's not what the PEGCAST is for. Do you just hear that guy? They're speeding out of the freaking car park at midnight. But my mom went to this, or my mom and her boyfriend, they went to this French bakery thing that just opened in Pasadena that's vegan, and they got meringues and they got macaroons and stuff. And then someone in the family made God, what do they call it? The chocolate that's on TikTok. Damn. I don't remember where it's like some place chocolate. I don't remember where it's from. But the point is, someone made it. Oh, I feel so stupid. It's chocolate, and then you bite into it, and then it has pistachio in it, and it's crunchy. I can't remember what it's called. I'm not on the same TikTok as them. But they were like, yeah, I made this because of blah, blah, blah. And they like explained how it was related to whatever tradition they were talking about, but they made that. So I'm going to give a lot of these French treats to Callie and everyone after her honors presentation. I'm going to say, my mom and Steve got this to celebrate you guys. That's not super true, but it's not true at all. But they did give it, and I told Mom that I would give it to them for that, and she was like, that would be great. So, I'm going to tell them that. I'm going to tell Callie specifically that she got it for Callie as well. And so that'll be really exciting. I hope that it all goes over well. I love each and every Penguin. I love you all dearly. When you guys tell me that you listen to the PEGCAST and you enjoy listening to it just because it feels like hanging out with me, it just fills me with love. It's truly amazing that you guys enjoy my presence enough to just listen to me literally yap for like 30 minutes. I've been pacing in the car park right now. If someone comes in here, I'm turning off the episode immediately. But it's so wonderful to be cared for in the way that you guys care for me. And I'm especially thankful of the way that Maya listens to the podcast, because it's not that I don't appreciate everyone, but the fact that Maya doesn't know me that well, we haven't hung out enough for her to really value my friendship like that. So I'm just truly flattered by how she listens to the podcast and says that she really enjoys it and it feels like hanging out with me, because that's awesome. That's awesome that you like hanging out with me. I like hanging out with you too. But that being said, I love when every single person listens to the podcast. I love that I connect with Kenzie over it and that Kenzie will listen to it and that she cares about me as a person. I love that Linus listens to it. I love that Dusty listens to it. I love that Cammie listens to it. I love that everyone listens to the podcast and enjoys the podcast. And when you guys miss it and say I need to catch up, that's so silly, but it truly, it warms my heart. So I love you guys a lot. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this episode. Subscribe, do all the great stuff. And yes, goodbye.